Alrighty, well, I made it out towards the beginning of the valley, and now I gotta cross this river that cuts through. Been following all the way downstream from the lakes. I gotta cut across the river here, find a line somewhere, and then I'm heading out. Nice. Beautiful. Whew. Yeah, so I've started to make my ascent up the mountain. You can see the valley behind me, and you can hear the river raging through the valley bottom. I was just thinking about that. I was listening to that river, thinking, "Oh man, that water is so good." And of course, I just realized that I forgot to fill up my water bottle. I have my smaller canteen with some water in it, but I was counting on this big one here too to see me through for, at least a couple of days, if not 3 days. So it's going to be a little dry up here, but hey, that water will taste so much sweeter when I get back down to the river. Anyway, I'm not going to go back and fill it up. I'm just going to keep on trucking, So it is what it is. But yeah, beautiful area out here. Give you a little look at where I am. Going way up behind me there. But yeah, this is so great to be out in this country. These mountains are so powerful. About getting close to about halfway up. It's a tough climb, that's for sure. Still in the shadow of the mountain. Sun's not even up that far yet. Yeah, this is a tough climb for sure, but it's so worth it, because when you get up to the top, it's such an amazing feeling of accomplishment, and then the views are gonna be absolutely spectacular. So after my little rest break here, I gotta cross over this ravine, get up onto that little band of trees and follow it up there, and then get right up there. So probably 2 nights up there is going to be awesome. I've spent as much as 3 nights up there by myself before. I've spent 2 nights up there on another occasion with my friend, and I'm going to do 2 nights solo this time as well. So getting familiar with the route, but it doesn't make it any easier, that's for sure. It's a tough hike, probably the toughest hike I've ever done. And going up is one thing. Of course, coming down is an entirely different animal. It's harder on the lungs going up, harder on the knees going down. But anyway, I'll have a couple of good rest days up there to recuperate from the hike, and then make my way down in a couple of days' time. But the air up here is so cold and fresh. It's just amazing. Absolutely spectacular. I'm already like soaking wet from sweating on my way up here. But when I get up to the top, I'll be able to get some of that sunshine too, and let my clothes out on a line and get them to dry and stuff like that, because they're pretty soaked, not just from sweat, but also there's so much dew on all the trees, and I'm just bushwhacking up here. There's no trail up here, so I'm just bushwhacking, and I'm getting all the water dropping from all the bushes and trees that I'm moving through, just soaking me. So anyway, I'm also limited on water, so maybe I can wring out my clothes and get a little sip here and there, but it won't taste that good. Whew. Well, I am getting close to the top. It's been a bit of a grind getting up here, though, I'll tell you that much. Forgot how tough it is to get up here. But it's so awesome. Yeah, it's like I'm on all fours a lot of the time, grabbing onto branches and trees. My hands are frozen and a little bit bloodied up right now because I can't feel them. All the trees and branches that I'm grabbing onto are covered in frost and stuff, so it just adds up, and my hands are pretty much frozen solid. But apart from that, oh man, my legs are burning like crazy. I mean, I'm in pretty decent shape, certainly in better shape than the average 54-year-old, I'll tell you that. But it still ain't easy. But it's worth it. So I can pretty much see the top of where I'm going. So I'm gonna keep working my way up here. I don't want to get too cocky too soon. Still gotta find the right lines. This looks good. Close call here. Set this down for a second. Yeah, that was a close one. All right. Let me get recalibrated here. All right, I'm back in the game. sunshine. So that means I'm up towards the top. Woo! Oh yeah. Oh. Oh yeah. I made it. Woo! Wow. Here's my fire pit. Wow. What a session to get up here. But I made it in one piece. You can see the valley behind me where I left from this morning, way back around the bend where you can't even see the lakes from here, but basically at the base of those mountains out there. So I walked all the way along that far side, which is the east side of the valley, to get out there and back, crossed over to the west side and came up this mountain behind me. The ridge line of that mountain that goes all the way along there, that's basically the border between Alberta and BC. This is BC, and the other side of that mountain is Alberta. So this is the lower camp that I've just arrived to. All right, fire pit there. But I think I'm gonna keep heading up. There's an upper camp up here that I really love, and I think I'm gonna head up there. It's even got even better views, and I know there's great trees for my hammock up there. There's not really great hammock trees along this lower base camp, so I'd be sleeping on the ground. And because it's so cold at night, sleeping on the ground is just going to take all the body heat out of me. So I think I'm going to play it safe and go up a little higher, and I can set up my hammock and sleep in that. But oh my gosh, it is so good to be up here again. Absolutely love this spot. Got my camp set up down there. You can see my hammock perfectly set up to enjoy these incredible views up here. Let me give you a little 360 tour here. You get a sense of where I am. I bushwhacked my way up here today. There are no trails up here. Just pure bushwhacking. Good old adventure. Oh yeah. Not bad at all. Yeah, so I'm all settled into my upper mountain camp. Got my hammock set up. Gonna get some firewood together pretty soon for my evening fire. But yeah, this is a sweet spot. Oh my gosh. It really doesn't get much better for a hammock location. I mean, this is pretty good, right? Reading up on bear attacks. Chilling. Behind me is pretty nice too. You can see the valley where I came in from this morning. Way down the end of that valley. Well, it was a pretty cold night last night up here on the mountaintop. The northern lights were spectacular last night. I mean, I started off just watching the stars. Perfectly clear night, so the starscape was spectacular. And then the northern lights came out and put on a beautiful show for me. That was delightful. And yeah, super cold night, fairly uneventful up here on the mountain. But you can see that the sun is not yet up over the mountains there behind me. That's where the sun's coming up. So it's still really cold this morning. I'm just trying to warm up a little bit. The ground is covered in frost. You know, everything's frosty. My pack is all frosted up here. And so, yeah, that's just how it is out here, you know, this time of year in October. You can see the sun hitting the tops of those peaks just behind me over there. But that's up towards the north, so still waiting for the sun to come up behind me and warm me up too. There's all kinds of mountain goat scat up here in my mountain camp, but I woke up this morning and I can see a bunch of them up there on the cliffs behind me. There's a guy right there. Just chilling. So cool. I frequently get asked a lot about what I eat when I'm out in the backcountry. And so, you know, for those of you who are interested, I'll give you a little rundown. You know, I typically live as a carnivore back in my life and civilization. And so when I'm out here, I try to maintain at least some form of keto. So, you know, I've got my Ursack bear bag. This is a great bear-proof bag that you don't have to hang. You can, you know, from limbs and stuff like that, you can just tie it to a tree and bears can't get into it. Inside that, of course, I have bear-proof, or not bear-proof, I should say odor-proof bags. So I have two of those. This one's open because I just had my breakfast. So I got one odor-proof bag, a second odor-proof bag, and then the contents are basically whey protein powder. This is a New Zealand whey protein powder that I really love. It's a vanilla flavor, and it's got 0 carbs, 0 sugars. So it's awesome for keto. Again, all bagged. Everything else is bagged individually inside the odor-proof bags. Of course, I also like these Epic bars. These Epic bars are this particular one is the venison, sea salt, and pepper. 12 grams of protein, 1 total gram of carbs. So these are nice. Live off these things, as well as these perfect protein bars. These are finally a no sugar protein bar on the market. So yeah, I basically love those because those keep me in keto while I'm out here. So that's basically what I will be living off for 10 days. Whey protein, venison bars, protein bars, and beautiful, amazing, spectacular, you know, structured water
right out of the mountains. You know, I'm drinking it out of the rivers and the springs and stuff like that. And that water is just so incredibly amazing for me. So I love that. And it's ice cold too. I'm thinking a lot about water right now because I'm pretty much running out of water up here. And I can hear the river down there below me. So looking forward to filling my belly with that ice cold, amazing structured water. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's basically what I live off.
Yeah, so it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the sun's already, dipping down behind the peak of this mountain here beside me. So all of a sudden it gets really cold. Oh my gosh, 3 o'clock. It's still light and everything, but yeah, getting cold already. It's gonna be a cold night tonight. This is the morning of my third day up here on the mountain, and I'm packed up. I've done my morning meditation, and I'm making moves, heading down the mountain today. Now, I'm fairly familiar with the descent at this point. I've done it several times, and I've kind of got it categorized into 4 main sections. That helps me kind of bite off a piece at a time as I go. First section is this first section, which is super rocky, and the ground's fairly unstable, loose rock and that type of stuff. That's about 200 meters till I get to the second section. Second section is going to be this sort of band of trees that threads the needle through a couple of sheer rock faces, and that allows me to kind of get down the side of the mountain and then work my way down to the ravine. Both of those sections are the hardest. They're the steepest, and this time of the morning when there's still a bit of frost on the ground and things are going to be a little bit slippery, those are my most challenging sections. I cross the ravine, then I get into the third section, which is Bear Alley. Bear Alley takes me down to the river, and then the river crossing, and then section 4 would be my hour-and-a-half hike to get out to my truck. In fact, this camp up here was originally Survivor Man's camp. That's how I came to learn about it. Survivor Man spent 2 nights up here. I've spent 7 nights up here. 5 of those nights alone. 2 of those nights with my friend Todd Standing. Todd was the one originally who guided Survivor Man up here to film those episodes, and Todd also taught me how to come up here as well. And now that I know my way, I love it so much, I just keep coming back. But I've become very fond of this place over the years that I've been coming up here. And, although I'm going to miss this place, it's time to say goodbye. So, mountain camp, peace out. All right, passing through the lower camp. That's great. Section 1 is completed. Slide some more down this section here. A little bit more sliding. Okay, great. Well, I made it down through the most dangerous part of the descent. And I've crossed the ravine. I'm now starting into Bear Alley. So, if you can see behind me here, all the way down the edge of this ravine, going down to the river, there's a goat trail. So remember my friend the billy goat from up on the mountain? Well, him and his whole posse take this trail, and I can see it cut into the side there. They take that down to the river to drink at night. And of course the predators know they do that too, so the cougar and the grizzly bears can pick them off down there. So I got to be extra cautious coming through this section here. I mean, there's no wind yet. It's really quite early in the morning. There's no wind, so the bears don't have my wind gauge, so they can't smell me. So I'll be making some noise definitely as I come through there. But the last thing I want to do is, as I get into the timber here, is surprise a grizzly bear who's, got a goat overnight and is sitting on that kill. That could be bad news. In fact, that's exactly what happened to my friend not even a month ago. Literally right across, see that stream coming through, that spring coming down the mountain? Literally right there. He came across on the trail a mother grizzly with cubs sitting on a mountain goat kill. So it had the potential of being the nightmare trifecta. Surprising the bear on the trail, mother with cubs, protecting food source. I mean, that is the trifecta of a potential defensive bear attack. Now, he managed that very safely. He already had a firearm shouldered, and he was able to navigate that situation. He yielded the trail, and he came down and decided to kind of go work his way around to the far side of the bear. Funnily enough, the bear had the same idea, and the bear decided to yield the trail to him, and which is rare, and with protecting a kill and having cubs. And so the bear went the same way he did, and they ended up meeting a second time in the bush. Now he made it out of that too, You know, he navigated that very well. I mean, if anybody's going to do that, he is. You know, he's a seasoned mountain man. But, you know, I am too. So I gotta, when I cut through here, I'm going to be super safe using all my great bear safety protocols, which are first class. And, you know, because my main priority, you know, when I'm out adventuring by myself out here, is I got to make it home to the people that I love and the people that love me. That's going to happen no matter what. So for it to happen, you know, as successfully as I want it to, I have to be smart, and I have to be brave, and I have to be super aware. So that's kind of my theme as I make my way through Bear Alley down to the river. Whew, man, am I thirsty. And my legs are burning. Whew. So I'm working my way through Bear Alley here. And, you know, because my sight lines are pretty limited in here, you know, I can see maybe 15 meters in front of me through these thick trees. My sight lines are limited here, so that means I already have my bear spray out and ready. You know, a grizzly bear can close 50-meter gap on you in like 2.5 seconds. And if you're fumbling around trying to get your bear spray out of your holster, you don't have time to react that fast. So I've got it out already. I mean, if I got, you know, under 15 meters and a bear's charging me, you know, I've got a second or two to get to deploy this and to deter that bear. So yeah, I'm a step ahead. Man, I can hear that river down there. It's getting louder and louder as I approach. Whoop, whoop. And, oh, that water's gonna be so good. Whew. So dry. Ran out of water like yesterday morning. Whew. Hardly ate yesterday too. So I'm doing this hike today on probably about maybe tops 400 calories yesterday. So I made it down the mountain, across the river, had some breakfast, washed up a little bit, bathed in the river. Now I got an hour and a half hike to get out to my truck. Wow, I made it out of the valley in one piece. Got back to my truck. Man, that was such a grind getting out of here. My legs are literally shaking right now. Whew. And I'm still a little bit winded, and I mean, I've been here for a few minutes loading up and everything. So grateful and thankful to be out of the valley safely. My next little bit of relief will be when this truck actually starts and I get out of here. Yeah, so this really sucks. My truck won't start and I'm out here. Thankfully there's a vehicle beside me here, and when I was bathing down at the river this morning, I saw them hiking in. We waved at each other, so they're probably going out to the lakes. And they're probably not going to be back till God knows when. I sent a message to my friend Todd, see if he's in the area, if he can come give me a boost. But looks like I'm stranded here for a while anyway, so I'm just going to kick back and read my book and see what happens. Dodge Ram Tough. What a load of bullshit that is. That's more like Dodge Ram Snowflake. The Dodge Ram I rented to get me in and out of the bush broke down after a couple of days. Flat tire, dead battery, stranded me in the bush. Not impressed. But I got a loaner here from my friend Todd Standing, and look at this beauty, right? This old bush beater right here, this Ford Expedition Max. You know, look at this. Great stuff. Blown out window, boarded up. You know, it's got, you know, the whole dashboard is cracked all the way across. Yeah, this is what you call a bush vehicle. This is the tough vehicle. This is what's going to get me out of the bush in one piece. Not that Dodge Ram Snowflake.